Good day, folks. This one, we're going to be going ahead and adding some effects for when you use your projectile on our robot friend over here. And we'll be doing a little bit of coding and a little bit of work with the Unity editor. Okay, cool. So let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and work with the enemy scripts. So let's go ahead to our project, and then we're going to be working on our scripts, and then this will be with the enemy script. The enemy controller, I'm sorry. Okay, so what do we have to do in this one? We're going to be adding another Boolean variable. It's going to be called broken. Okay, so let's go ahead and it's going to be just called, we don't have to add it public, so let's add it just like right here. Okay, it doesn't really matter where you put it as long as it's within this bracket. But let's just call it bool, and then we're going to call this broken. And we're going to initialize it to, it's going to be true. And I forget if it's lowercase or uppercase. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to initially set it to true so that the user, yeah, it's going to be lowercase. Good. Cool. We're going to set it so that the initially is going to be set to true. And then that is going to be starting off so that it's broken, and then we're going to sort of be working with how that projectile will adjust that, okay? The idea being is that if the robots are broken, they're going to attack you and damage you, and the projectile fixes them. Let's put the fixes in quotes. So let's go ahead, and then we're going to be making a couple updates here. So where we're at update, we're going to basically set it so that, like, if the user is not broken, we're going to exit out of the function. So how does that look? So let's make sure that we're in update, and then we're after the first bracket, and I'm just going to paste this in. I'm going to clean it up then. Okay, so it's basically saying this. If, and then in this case here, the exclamation point is not. So if you are not broken, then you're going to be, you're just going to return. You're going to exit out of this update function. You're not going to do any of this other stuff. So it's basically saying that if something would adjust the robot's broken Boolean variable, you're going to just stop doing the anything within the update function. All right, we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to just grab this. We're also going to put this in fix update as well, or fixed update. So basically, if you are broken, or you could say fixed, if you're fixed, don't do any of this other stuff. Okay, so it basically, if this statement ends up, if this condition is true, then we're going to not perform any of these other things. Okay. Okay, so then the other thing we're going to do is we are going to add an additional script, an additional function. Let's go all the way down to our enemy script. Make sure it is right before that last bracket there. So after the on collision, and then let's go ahead and just add this here. So we're going to say public void, because we're not going to return something, and the name of the function is going to be called fix. When fix is called, we're going to set our broken Boolean to false. And then this is basically here, this rigid body 2D simulated is going to be set to false. This is basically saying physics, turn off. Like everything related to the physics engine, you just want it so that it will just break down, and then it won't really be in the physics system, so that it won't do anything with collision, and it won't really move. And also, so that then if you fire any additional projectiles, it will go right through them. All right? So let's go ahead and save this. We're going to have to now work with our projectile script. This projectile script is going to have to call upon that fix, the fix function that we just wrote in our enemy script. So let's go ahead and, come on, Unity. You can do it. Thank you. OK, so now we go here to projectile. So this is our projectile.cs, and we're going to go ahead to our collision 2D, and we're going to get rid of, we're going to get rid of all of this stuff here, because we don't need to debug anymore. Actually, no, keep the destroy game object. Let's get rid of these 2 lines here, though. And let me just paste this in. Okay. So we are taking the other that is being provided as far as like if the projectile collides with another object in the game, we're going to set the variable e equal to, and now let's read the right side of the equal sign. We're going to basically say get component of the from the collider of the object that it is collided with. If it's an enemy controller, set it to e. If something has been assigned, then call upon the fix function. So basically this is saying this, is that, hey, anytime I collide with something, anytime one of my projectiles collide with something, check to see, is it an enemy? Is it a bad guy? Okay? Is it a bad guy? If that's the case, call upon the fix function. The fix function is going to set the Boolean status of the fix set to false, right? Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. That is what it will do. And then afterwards, destroy the projectile. Okay. Let's see if it works. Oh, before we go here, let's go here to our projectile.cs and go to on our update. And we are going to basically say, if you are super far away, destroy the object. This is basically so like, if you don't have this line, and let's say you spam projectile, you could have like 100 projectiles being simulated. And since we really don't have any like friction or anything like that, the projectiles will continue on and on and on and on and on. So that's why we'll include this line here. So this is going to be the update function in the projectile.cs. Okay? All right, let's check it out. Let's make sure we have no problems with our code. I'll pause and see what the problem is with our code. And thankfully, we know where to look, line 24. So let's go here to our projectile, and we see the problem. You see how this update function has an open bracket, and the next we don't have a closing bracket. Just forgot our good friend, the closing bracket here, and our update function. So let's save that, go back. Let's see if our compiler error has been fixed. Yay. Okay, so our compiler error has been fixed, and basically when we hit a robot with our projectile, it's going to stop moving, and also let's see, there we go. So we see now it has stopped moving. There's an additional sort of set of instructions on how to change, like if we wanted so that the robot becomes fixed. For now, though, I think we're going to be okay. Maybe I'll come back to this later. But wish you the best of luck. Good stuff.